friends, welcome back to the channel. New subscribers, you're special. I love you. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope that you're going to bring others on this channel. You're welcome. So friends, we're just going to have another good conversation this week. Last week we managed to talk about rock bottom, but this week I would like us to introduce us to another interesting topic about parenting. Guess what it is? The bad lessons that parents teach their children unknowingly. Go sip some tea, drink some water, come back for a good conversation. The biblical wisdom says in Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That is biblical wisdom, and that's what we're going to base ourselves on in this teaching. So I'm just going to talk and really discuss the bad things or the bad lessons that we teach our children unknowingly. Parents, come closer, especially mummies. Come closer, let's discuss this thing. The first one is telling them not to snitch. You know, what is snitching? Telling on others. You know, you're telling them, do not snitch on others, it's bad. But do you know what you're teaching them indirectly? Not to be open. You know, not to be open. You're teaching them to avoid talking about real problems in their lives. You know, for example, if a child is being bullied at school or being molested, they won't open up to you because you've told them not to snitch. So what should you teach instead? You should teach them to be open and be honest. Because when they are open and honest, they will always tell you what is happening to their lives. Another one is you're telling them you shouldn't express your negative emotions. I've heard this a lot. For example, the mothers of boys in Africa, most of them tell them, no, you are a boy, you should be strong, don't cry when they're trying to cry. You're telling them not to express themselves. And you know what you're doing? You're teaching them to bottle up their feelings. And it will reach a certain time when they grow up where they will explode. And these are the kids you will find out that, you know, they have a sense of self-entitlement, you know. They have personality disorders because you don't allow them to express themselves, to express their feelings. Instead, what should you teach? Encourage your child to express their feelings in a safe way, right? Because a child's brain doesn't know how to express its emotions. It can only carry emotion. By the way, this information is based on real psychological research. You know, people who have made research about this are the ones who are telling us this about children. So it's just not baseless. So you should teach them how to express their feeling in a more constructive way, right? Another thing we are teaching them is you should make people like you. You know, telling your kids to be liked by everyone. There is a saying that I had written on Facebook 10 years ago. I was seeing it recently. You know, Facebook reminds you of things. Of like, a friend to everyone is a friend to none. If you're a friend to everyone, you're a friend to none. And and watch those kids that you like, especially those who don't have any comment from school, any negative comment, everyone likes them. Those are the kids you need to watch out, because they are trying to be liked by everyone, and those kids end up being people pleasers. You know, you can't be liked by everyone. There should be some kids that don't like you, maybe because of the way you express yourself. You might find that those kids are even being forced at school to do homeworks of other kids because they want to be liked, you know. So watch out for such characters. So what should you teach instead? Encourage them to say no to things they don't feel like comfortable with, you know. To be like, if someone says, do for me my homework, carry for me my bag, do for me my chores, they should be able to express themselves and say no, right? Another bad lesson that we teach indirectly is You tell your kids to get good grades or you will never get a good job. That is a very bad lesson, because you're teaching this kid that grades are the ones that will take you somewhere. Haven't you met some people who have done very well in school but they are hustling? Haven't you met very many kids who had A's but they are at home laying bricks? So you're teaching kids to work very hard for grades, and that is how you end up finding some kids who have killed themselves because they've not scored A's. And indirectly you're teaching them that for you to make it in life, you must have good grades. But life is very hard. You can be having very good grades, but you never get your dream job, So what should you teach them instead? Teach them to work hard to gain knowledge, but don't wrap yourselves up in good grades. Grades don't mark your intelligence, right? Instead, you should actually teach them to have good skills. Education is very good. Good grades are good. But if they can pick good skills from this education, that they can take them anywhere, instead of teaching them that grades, A's are the ones that they need. There are very many ways that kids can show you that they're intelligent. Through music, if you're very keen to see the talents of your kid, if they could be kids who are very talented in different ways, but maybe they don't get good grades. Watch out for that instead. Another bad lesson that we teach indirectly is telling them things like, I buy the best for my baby. You see, you're buying the best. Why are you buying the best for them? Buying for them everything they need. Maybe you're trying to compensate for what you didn't get in your childhood. You're trying to buy for your little you indirectly, So what you need to do is, by the way, children like those, they grow up thinking that they should be put first in everything. You buy for them everything, whatever they need, even what they don't deserve. Sometimes, by the way, such kids, kids do things according to what they observe. If you're lavish kind of parents, they will also like lavish things. So you don't have to buy for them everything, even things that are unnecessary. I found out some kids who think that everything belongs to them. For example, if they are called on a friend's birthday party, they are sad because they want to be the ones to be recognized. It's not their day because other kids are celebrating another kid. That is a selfish way. That kid has been raised to think they are the ones who deserve everything. So you need to watch out for such things, So what should you teach in this case? To be responsible with money, you need to teach kids how to be responsible with money. If you take them in supermarket, let them know how much they can spend, how much they have spent, where you get the money from. Teach them the importance of money at an early age. Such kids, by the way, another thing is that they end up being like narcissists because they know whatever they want, they get. Please watch out for such things that we are teaching indirectly. Another thing is we teach indirectly is we teach them that making a mistake means losing something. The way you punish, like when you make a mistake, we must take TV away or a tab or internet. Some worse parents even make their kids not have DIB because they have made a mistake. That is a big problem. Please, that is not. Psychologists actually have found out that way of punishment doesn't work on kids. Instead, they feel like they should do it more. They make it worse. So what you should do instead in such a case is that in such kind of punishment, the punishment you should give is like give them a chore that they don't like. For example, if they don't like mopping, give them time to tell them to mop or tell them to wash dishes. While they are doing it, they are thinking about their mistake instead of taking away things from them. Because when you take them away, like switch off TV or take your tabs away, it won't work. Instead, give them something constructive, like do your chores, while they are doing it, they are thinking about their mistake. Another mistake we make is telling children should never be idle. Some of you don't want your children to be idle at all. You don't want them to think, for example. So you make sure you if it's on weekends, you want them to be busy. Go play football, go into a ballet class, go play music, go into a music class. You're making them so busy to even do things that they don't even like. Please allow your kids to sometimes be idle, because that way it allows them to be to have a constructive mind, to invent, to think of how they can entertain themselves. By the way, you can even buy for them books and see if they can buy them, instead of forcing them to do things. Sometimes on weekends, that's when they need to rest, and being idle is okay. For you, didn't you like it when you were young to just be idle, look at the sky? It's very important. Don't over-occupy the kids, because maybe you're trying to also compensate. You don't have time with them, so you want them to be busy. I see you. So instead, just don't do it that way. Give them a chance to be alone. Let them be alone and think about their lives. So what should you teach instead? It's okay to entertain yourself. Don't feel guilty for them. They are children. Sometimes it's okay for them to just be there, play with nothing, and let them be children. Another bad lesson is that the one we teach our children is that they should share. They must share their toys. Please put yourself in the shoes of this child. Give them an opportunity to also have their own thing. For you, put yourself in their shoes. Do you like sharing everything? For example, your toys. Let's talk about your toys. Your cars, your houses, your big stuff. Do you like sharing it? You don't. Naturally, human beings sometimes don't like to share. So you are forcing your kids to share their favorite things. Why don't you allow them to have their favorite thing that, they don't have to also share? This might sound crazy, but no, you shouldn't be sharing everything. There are some kids who are, especially the young ones, they force their siblings to give them their best toys because they know you are going to tell them share. But sometimes it's not that way. The constructive way of teaching that is that maybe you should allow them to, for example, if let's say they have a favorite ball, allow them to play together. If the girl has a favorite toy, maybe let them play together, but don't say give your toy to this person. They will feel uncomfortable. Allow them to also have their personal things that they care about. Yeah, and such a child, when you keep telling them share everything, these are the kids that grow up, you find that they give too much and they don't leave anything to themselves, and they end up being exhausted. Watch out for such things too. So guys, that is all that I had for you. I hope you found out some mistakes, some lessons that you've been teaching your kids and think they are okay yet they are not okay. Please watch out for such things. And I know some of you are feeling guilty because that is how our parents raised us, and you're like, oh my God, that is why we were like the way we are. Most people confess that they are narcissists because of the way they were raised. There are some things that you are forced on when you're a child, and then they grow up into you without knowing. So let us stop this. Young parents, those who have internet who can hear such information, please learn how to parent your kids in a simple way. God bless you. Subscribe, share, like. Please subscribe. I need subscribers. God bless you.